The unthinkable has just happened in Toronto. Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina phenom, has done what nobody saw coming. She has stunned Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic in a round of 16 thriller for the ages. Thousands of Filipino fans have erupted in center court, waving flags and screaming with pure ecstasy as their hero delivered the biggest win of her career. This isn't just another upset. This is the moment the tennis world officially meets its newest superstar. With a night match winning streak and a resume that now includes back-to-back titles, Eala has just announced to the entire world she is here to stay. And the roar from the crowd? Absolutely deafening. The stage was set for what promised to be one of the most electrifying matches of the tournament. Eala walked onto center court at SoBe Stadium in Toronto carrying more than just her racket. She carried the hopes of an entire nation. The 21-year-old Filipina had already captured hearts and headlines by winning her first WTA title in Washington just days earlier. But standing across the net was Belinda Bencic, a player who has seen it all and done it all. The Swiss star is a former world number 4, an Olympic gold medalist from Tokyo 2020, and a player with 10 singles titles to her name. She had also survived her own marathon battle, outlasting Taylor Townsend in a grueling 3-hour and 24-minute war just to reach this round of 16 clash. On paper, this was supposed to be the moment where experience would trump youth, where the veteran would teach the rising star a lesson. But Eala had other plans. She had won 7 matches in a row. She had beaten world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. She had already proven that she belongs on this stage. And she had something else that no ranking or statistic could measure. An entire stadium of Filipino fans who had turned SoBe Stadium into a home away from home. I heard someone in the crowd say they wanted to be Filipino for tonight, Eala had said after her previous match. That energy, that passion, that deafening roar, it was about to become her secret weapon. The match was set for 8:10 a.m. Manila time. Millions would be watching, and Eala was ready to make history. From the very first point, it was clear that Eala had not come to Toronto merely to participate. She came to conquer. The Filipina sensation came out firing, her ground strokes finding their targets with laser-like precision. Bencic, known for her incredible timing and ability to redirect the ball, looked unsettled from the start. Perhaps it was the atmosphere, the thunderous chants of Filipino fans, the waving flags, the electric energy that seemed to lift Eala with every point she won. Perhaps it was the sheer confidence that comes from winning 7 matches in a row. Whatever the reason, Eala was simply unstoppable. She broke Bencic's serve early and never looked back, using her aggressive baseline game to keep the Swiss star on the defensive. The first set flew by in a blur of winners and fist pumps, with Eala taking it decisively and sending the crowd into absolute hysterics. The Filipino supporters who had packed the 10,000-seat center court were in full voice. They had seen their hero overcome adversity before. Just days earlier, she had rolled her ankle in the second set against McNally and still found a way to win. They had watched her battle through fatigue and injury to claim her first WTA title. And now, they were witnessing something even more special. The first set belonged to Eala, but Bencic, a former world number 4, was not about to go down without a fight. The Olympic gold medalist had been in these situations countless times before. She knew how to weather the storm, she knew how to adapt, and she knew that in a 3-set match, the first set was just the beginning. Eala had drawn first blood, but the battle was far from over. As expected, Belinda Bencic raised her level in the second set. The Swiss veteran, who had twice reached Grand Slam semifinals and won Olympic gold, was not about to let a 21-year-old newcomer steal the spotlight without a fight. She began to find her rhythm, her serve becoming more reliable, her ground strokes finding deeper targets. The momentum shifted. The crowd, which had been so loud in the first set, grew tense. Every point felt like a battle. Every game felt like a war. Bencic, who had shown visible frustration in the past when crowds became too loud during tense moments, appeared to feed off the silence that fell over the stadium when she won big points. The Filipino fans, however, refused to be silenced. They chanted louder. They waved their flags harder. They reminded Eala that she was not alone on that court. And Eala, who has described the crowd's energy as something that makes everything become so much more emotional, drew strength from their unwavering support. But the second set belonged to Bencic, the Swiss star, who had become the youngest Canadian Open champion at just 18 years old back in 2015, showed exactly why she has been among the world's best for over a decade. She broke Eala's serve at a crucial moment, held her own, and forced a deciding third set. The match was now a one-set shootout. Everything was on the line: a quarterfinal spot, a chance to face world number 4 Coco Gauff, a chance to extend an 8-match winning streak, and for Eala, a chance to prove that her Washington title was no fluke, that she truly belongs among the elite of women's tennis. The tension was unbearable. The crowd was on its feet, and Eala was about to deliver the performance of her life. The third set was an absolute war. Every point was contested. Every game felt like it could decide the match. Bencic, having won the second set, carried the momentum into the decider. She looked confident. She looked experienced. She looked like the Olympic gold medalist who had been in these situations countless times before. But Eala had something that no amount of experience could prepare Bencic for: an unbreakable will. The Filipina star, who had already battled through a grueling 3-setter against McNally just to reach this stage, refused to back down. She had rolled her ankle in that match. She had shown signs of fatigue. She had every excuse to fold. But instead, she rose. Eala dug deep, finding reserves of energy that seemed impossible. She broke Bencic's serve at a critical moment, just as she had done against McNally in the third set of their match. She held her nerve when it mattered most. She played with the kind of fearless aggression that has made her one of the most exciting young players on tour. And when match point finally arrived, the stadium erupted. Filipino flags waved everywhere. Thousands of voices screamed in unison. The 21-year-old Filipina had done it. She had knocked out Belinda Bencic, the 12th seed, the Olympic gold medalist, the former world number 4. The crowd went absolutely wild. Eala, overcome with emotion, looked up at the stands where her supporters had turned Sobe Stadium into a sea of Philippine flags. The motivation to come here and play another match. Everything becomes so much more emotional, she had said after her previous victory. And now, that emotion was pouring out of her. The celebrations were absolutely massive. Eala had just achieved the biggest victory of her young career, and the tennis world was taking notice. This was no ordinary upset. This was a Stadium win. Eala, who just last week won her first WTA title in Washington, had now backed it up with an even bigger victory on an even bigger stage. The 21-year-old Filipina had extended her winning streak to 8 matches, a run that included wins over some of the biggest names in tennis. She had beaten Paris Olympics gold medalist Jung Kin-wen. She had stunned world number 3 Jessica Pegula. And now, she had knocked out Tokyo Olympics gold medalist Belinda Bencic. The Filipina star was no longer just a rising talent. She was a genuine contender. A quarterfinal berth at a WTA 1000 event was now hers, and with it came $154,354.44 in prize money and a further cementing of her position among the world's elite. But for Eala, the victory was about more than just rankings or money. It was about proving that she belongs. It was about the fans who had traveled from across Canada and beyond to support her. "To play in front of you guys, it's amazing," Eala had told the crowd after her previous win. And now, she had given them a moment they would never forget. The roar of the crowd continued long after the match ended. Filipino fans, who had turned Sobe Stadium into a home court, celebrated wildly. Eala had done what many thought was impossible. She had beaten one of the best players in the world. She had advanced to the quarterfinals of a WTA 1000 tournament. And she had announced to the entire world that the future of women's tennis has a new name: Eala. The journey continues. The dream is alive. And the tennis world will never be the same again. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the World Zone right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.